There was a time when the PS4 was my go-to console, whether that be because of the fact that my friends own one, or the exclusives that PlayStation had back in the day, which were insane. The thing that got me to switch is the exclusives, with Spider-Man being one of them, finishing the game with a tear in my eye. And that's something Xbox lacked, and in a way it still lacks. The PS4 has a Blu-ray disc slot, in which you can insert games to play. If you choose to play a DVD, then the PS4 has capabilities to upscale movies to 1080p, though one downside was the absence of the ability to play games directly from the disc. But that's understandable considering the size of games these days, as some games could peak sizes of over 100GB. With Blu-ray discs came resistance to scratches compared to your standard DVD. For me, this was life-changing, as I came over from the Xbox 360, as we all know how easily those discs scratched. I think you should subscribe. The console is relatively easy to set up, but all you need is a power cable and a HDMI cable. Plug it into the back of the console and the HDMI into the port of the TV, needing only 2 wires to be fully set up. The console can go into sleep mode when not in use. While power conservative, I still recommend you fully power off the console, especially if you don't find yourself using it in the near future. For me, I take long breaks between each play session, and while I take those long breaks, it would make more sense for me to conserve power and unplug the console. If we take a look at the software and UI, it still holds up as navigation of the menu feels fluid and smooth. The customization is there as well, so you can make your PS4 yours. I have a theme that customizes how the menu sounds and looks, with the extra added bonus of ambient sound that I find calming and tranquil. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's me, of course, because I'm fat. Ooh. And this can be a deal breaker for some. For me, it was a minor inconvenience, as I personally never really had an issue with this. And what I'm talking about is fan noise. The PS4 can get quite loud if you're playing high intensity games like Fortnite or Call of Duty. And this fan issue can happen almost instantly, as you notice the volume of the fan increase slowly as you progress within the game. It's sometimes so bad that it actually sounds like the PS4 is about to take flight. If you want, you can take a listen for yourself, but personally, it's never really bothered me, and I quite like the ambient sound in the background. It's like tranquil and calming in a sense. I like it. For our game test, we'll be playing 3 games: Fortnite, Trials Fusion and Minecraft. It's crazy when it comes to Fortnite, as the first thing you hear is the fan. For me, that sounds like the console is nearing full blast just to keep itself cool. When we enter the game feels somewhat playable, with the game aiming for 60 FPS. It does mostly stand by that frame rate, but dips for me are quite common, especially if you're in an area with a lot of builds or players. The graphics are acceptable, though not as impressive as the Series S, but to not put that down, it does a better job than the Switch. And when I say it's bad on the Switch, I mean it. The frame rate is so low that you could probably get shot and not see the bullet or the player, though overall, the experience is decent. However, with every update, I can tell the PS4's performance is beginning to slip. And if you play this often and have no other consoles to compare the performance to, then I doubt you would notice. The controller is the first thing you pick up when you get a new console, and my initial experience was odd, as I'm used to the OG Xbox controller form factor, and while I get used to it, I definitely miss the extra comfortability the Xbox had with their controllers. And it's not to say the controller is uncomfortable, it's just that when I hold the PS4, I feel like I could just snap it in half, or it could just be the Xbox controller feels more premium in the hand. The controller is paired with gyro sensors. This can be used in selected games, or for when you can't be bothered to use the thumbstick and would rather wave the controller around just to select a letter. You also get a touchpad, and that I do find useful. For instance, if you pair the controller with your phone, you can use the touchpad as like a mouse to scroll around and navigate the phone. But it would make more sense if you just used your finger. But I guess it's there. You also get the ability to play PS4 games remotely using Remote Play, and with this, you'll need a connection that is basically the speed of light. The issue only comes when you're traveling and you use mobile data. The weaker connection could worsen input lag and increase the likelihood of the connection randomly being dropped. Another instance is, let's say someone else is using the TV. You can continue playing without any disturbances, especially if the console is connected to the same Wi-Fi network as the phone. If I was to go down that avenue, then the performance is much better and stable for me, but ultimately could vary from person to person and your internet speed. Moving on to the second game, Trials Fusion. The game performs without a hitch. Visuals are decent, holding a reliable frame rate and minimal fan noise. I always loved these types of games, as I used to remember playing a similar game on my old iPhone, and it kind of brings a sense of nostalgia back. I actually own 2 PS4s. The fat one is my main daily driver, and the other one is running a custom firmware. It's nice to flip between the two, as the other one doesn't have the fan issues, and that's almost absent, as you can literally just turn it off. The last game is Minecraft, and Minecraft still runs well on the PS4. Performance is still how I remembered it to be. When I play, the graphics still shine with the PS4, while not being as good as the PS5, but not being as bad as the Xbox 360. The graphic can still find a way to impress you and get you to say, wow. The PS4 is worth the cost, and if you decide to get one in 2024, you have two choices, the PS4 or the PS4 Pro. If you want to play games at a higher resolution and more of a stable frame rate, then go with the PS4 Pro. But whatever you choose, you can't go wrong with either, as the PS4 is still capable in 2024. There is also a console that does the same thing, and is actually more powerful slightly. The only issue is its absence of a disc slot. And I'm talking about this video there. This is the Series S, and I think if you're a PlayStation fanboy and you're dedicated to the PS4, then watch this video with an open mind, and you might actually find yourself surprised.